How can you possibly celebrate a player who advanced his nation to the semi-finals of a World Cup due to a goal scored with his hand? I was once again wasting my time away on social media until I saw a tweet from a guy who said Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the most overrated players of all time by the single fact he's compared to Messi. Where should I even start? We have this player took an average national team and elevated them to genuine title contenders. He managed to awaken a sleeping powerhouse and in the process emerged as their most outstanding player ever. And his achievements are nothing short of remarkable. He secured a Ballon d'Or, clinched a Champions League title an impressive 5 times, triumphed in the Euro Championship, and secured league titles in 3 different countries. And as if that weren't enough, he holds the record as a top goal scorer in the entire history of the sport. You can debate all you want if Messi is better or not, but Ronaldo is without a shadow of a doubt in the GOAT category. Continuing on with more Ronaldo slander with his user saying that Eusebio was better than Ronaldo. Look, Eusebio was a terrific player. It's kinda surprising how he doesn't get much attention these days. He was extremely gifted and compared to Pelé several times, but our generation doesn't give him enough credit. He played as a striker and did wonders for Benfica, turning him into a powerhouse in Europe, while scoring 30 to 50 goals a season for almost 10 years. But everything that Eusebio achieved, Ronaldo eventually surpassed in terms of stats and accolades at both club and international level. So in my eyes, it's pretty clear that Ronaldo takes the crown as the best Portuguese player ever. The next controversial take comes from Nick, who says that no pundit should be allowed to criticize a referee until they have qualified as a referee, and football was better when the decision was final, even when she was wrong. Slow down, Nick Jong-un, let's not turn football into a dictatorship, alright? But in a way, I understand where he's coming from. If you think the situation is tough in England, you should really keep an eye on Portuguese football. The FC Porto coach, Sérgio Conceição, seems to always be getting into arguments with referees, and he's even been known to refuse leaving the field after being shown the red card. Clearly, referees deserve more respect and need the freedom to officiate without excessive pressure. I genuinely believe that if that were the case, we'd see fewer mistakes happening. At the same time, it's only fair to challenge obvious blunders, especially if they significantly impact the final outcome of a match. Besides, going by the same logic, the pundits would never be able to critique the decisions made by coaches. After all, many of these pundits are just former players who haven't exactly excelled at managing teams themselves. Another hot take regarding refereeing is this one by Guido, who says that the offside rule should be lifted. Okay, I think we found Rashford's burner account. If the offside rule was lifted, you'd essentially break the game. Football would turn into a sport where the goalkeepers would punt the ball as far as possible to players camping up front, and as a consequence, the defense would have to retreat as a whole, effectively destroying the midfield. Football would turn into a game of long balls and 1v1s, and the intricate teamwork, coordination and skillful passing that we appreciate would all disappear. Instead of having Haaland and Mbappe as the best players of our generation, you'd probably have Ederson and Ousmane Dembélé as the best players in this new era of football. But now that I think about it, they should introduce a variant of football like that. It might even be more enjoyable in the NFL. Continuing on with another controversial opinion by Ibrahim, who doesn't understand how I only have 1000 subs. Good question, I don't know either. But hey, regardless, why not consider subscribing to the channel? I bring the hottest footballing discussions every time, so I missed them. I believe that if Leicester won the league, I can also make a living out of this channel. Next hot take reads, goalkeepers are criminally underrated in individual prizes and team recognition. Everyone always seems to care about attackers. I mean, what can you really do about it? It's true that we often seem to cut attackers more slack than goalkeepers, and there's definitely a bigger celebration for a fantastic goal compared to an equally impressive save. I think this tendency might stem from the fact that goalkeepers are that final line of defense. When they slip up, the consequences tend to be much harsher for their team compared to when the forward misses an open goal or a midfield flubs a pass. Mistakes by outfield players often offer room for recovery, another shot on goal, or a teammate reclaiming a lost ball. When the goalkeeper fails to save, the consequences can be pretty dire for the team. It's a pivotal moment that can completely change the course of a match. It's an ungrateful position, but I think they know what they signed up for. Now we got a controversial player comparison, with Petco saying that Van Dijk is at the same level as David Luiz. Well, I grew up watching David Luiz in my own league, but even then, I never saw him as a world-class centre-back. He was decent, but too overhyped and very prone to mistakes. Van Dijk was at an elite level in that period where Liverpool won the Champions League and the Premier League. Let's not forget that he was in the conversation to win the Ballon d'Or in 2019 and only missed out on the award by 7 points. After that though, he slowly fell off, and nowadays I don't think that anyone considers him as the best center back in the world. Still, being compared to David Luiz is a bit too harsh, and I obviously disagree. The next hot take is colorful football boots look utterly stupid. Bring back black only boots. It's not even that they're ugly or anything, it's the fact that they're everywhere. In the beginning, every once in a while, you saw a bold player sporting colorful boots, and it was cool. Many of them looked vibrant, I really liked them. But somewhere along the line, it became the norm, and now it's just boring. They are just colorful rainbow masses made to stand out, and I think it's time for a change. But tell me, what were your favorite football boots as a kid? And to end the video with a bang, I'll add my own hot take. Maradona is essentially a cheater and shouldn't be celebrated nearly as much as he is. Now, don't get me wrong, the guy had immense skill, there's no denying that. But let's not turn a blind eye to some aspects and raise questions. How can you possibly celebrate a player who advanced his nation to the semi-finals of a World Cup due to a goal scored with his hand? Then there's the whole performance-enhancing situation. Yep, Maradona resorted to that to prove he still had the edge. But you've gotta wonder, why would a player of his caliber need to resort to such measures at 33? The answer is quite simple. He never took care of his body, partied like an animal, and took several other recreational drugs in the process. Now, let me be clear. I'm not here to catch judgment or label him a horrible person because of his involvement with drugs. People make choices, right or wrong, and it's not my place to be the moral compass. But ultimately, it was his own life choices that tarnished his legacy. It's like having this incredible masterpiece, but then smudging a corner with a clumsy stroke. His undeniable skill is there, but it's hard to view him through the same lens as legends like Pele, Cruyff, or the more recent Messi and Ronaldo. And that is it for the video. I hope you liked this different style of content. Don't forget to leave your own controversial takes in the comments, and you might appear on the next video. Leave a like so I know you want to watch more content like this, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another interesting football video. Thanks for watching until the end, I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.